Now, today's top stories and Power of 5 weather from News 5. Sponsored by Akron Children's Hospital.
Good Sunday morning, Northeast Ohio, on this 15th of August, meaning we are just under a month away from the September 14th Cleveland mayoral primary, and that means early voting gets underway this week at the Board of Elections. Hours will be 8 to 5 weekdays, expanding as we get into September. Now, a new poll out this week showing undecided in the lead as a whole in this race with 21%. Dennis Kucinich right behind at 20%, and as you can see, just a tight pack for that all-important second spot. As these numbers show, it is a race that is truly up in the air as these hopefuls look to make their move. They are 7 residents of Cleveland who hope this year to become mayor of their hometown, each looking to use their section of the city to collect the primary votes needed next month to make the top 2 going on to the November election.
Because of the regional split across the city, you've got 3 West Side candidates and 4 East Side candidates. It's really hard to say where this is going to go come the primary on September 14th.
The key for them now, with a focus solely on their race, using every debate or forum over the next month to make their case.
Really the goal is public exposure and connection. I think name recognition is getting there for most of these candidates, but they really have to differentiate themselves from each other on these issues. They all agree on the issues that are important: public safety, housing, healthcare. The question is, what will they do about it?
Turning out the voters that are turned on to them is key. Keep in mind, the last time the seat was open 20 years ago, there were 10 candidates on that primary ballot with fewer than 1,000 votes separating the top 2. And 4 years ago, there were only 33,500 votes cast in that primary. That's in a city with over 250,000 voters. So just shy of 7,400 is all Zach Reed needed to make the top 2. So in a low turnout election, it doesn't take much.
Typically the turnout's going to be a lot higher in the west side parts of the city compared to the east side. But with these candidates, you might see bump ups, particularly in the wards that are represented by Bashir Jones, used to be represented by Zach Reed, and of course Sandra Williams representing the east side area as a state senator.
And the 7 gathering this week for a debate at the City Club with another slated for Tuesday night. Well, this week an Ohio institution got to start a new chapter in its storied history with a new name befitting it, as NASA formally changed the name of its Plumbrook station to the Neil A. Armstrong testing site. It was a move many years in the making.
3, 2, 1.
And with that, the NASA facility formerly known as Plumbrook is formally renamed after the first man to walk on the moon 52 years ago, Neil Armstrong. Plumbrook is situated on 6,400 acres in Sandusky and is home to some of the world's most powerful space simulation chambers that support, fittingly enough, the Artemis mission to return to the moon, making this the perfect tribute.
Neil's one giant leap for mankind was taken by a giant of a person, but the legacy continues to extend.
The man behind this effort was Senator Rob Portman, a longtime friend of Armstrong's who got emotional at the dedication.
Neil was a friend, and I was honored to give a eulogy at his funeral. And
you might wonder why this took so long to happen. Well, in a little-known story shared with me 2 years ago, Portman said he actually first broached the idea with Armstrong in 2011.
Plumbrook is just a geographic name, and I think your name ought to be on it. And he said, Rob, I appreciate that, but I'm really not interested. It's not about me. It was just classic Neil Armstrong.
Portman told me it was the first time he recalled sharing the story of that conversation publicly, and as we talked that day in 2019, he added this.
Since you've raised it, John, I may have to start thinking about it again, whether we should initiate another effort.
Armstrong's son Mark was out for a jog when his phone rang the next day.
Got a call out of the blue, unknown number. Do I answer? Do I not answer? And I'm glad I did.
Portman also glad he didn't take Armstrong's no for an answer. So too was his son.
Maybe whereas Dad may not have wanted his name attached to something just because he didn't feel like he deserved that, honestly. The family, in retrospect, is thrilled.
As a point of personal privilege, I'd like to share one particular Neil Armstrong story that was shared with me 9 years ago this month at the Republican National Convention in Tampa. It was the day after Neil Armstrong had passed away, and it was shared by Colonel Tom Moe. Now, he's an Ohio veteran who spent 5 years as a prisoner of war in Vietnam in a cell right next to the late Senator John McCain.
What the Vietnamese communists wanted to do was to not only break us down, but to just demoralize us, demonize our country. There was nothing we could do good.
So when Armstrong walked on the moon, they were told it was a lie. It didn't happen. Then one day,
A letter came through, which is almost a miracle in itself, with a stamp with the man on the moon. It was so uplifting to us.
they knew it was real, and it gave them hope. Before Armstrong passed, Mo had a chance to share that story with him and tell him thanks.
I think it struck home to him that even reaching into a prison camp, the message of light of what our country is, what it can do, to put a man on the moon, and it really was an inspiration to him, I think.
With Democracy 2021, I'm John Kosick. Enjoy your Sunday.
Happy Sunday. I'm Power 5 meteorologist Katie McGraw. A stray shower possible in our most southern communities. What you're seeing as we creep toward the afternoon, not a real big deal. Overall, today is going to still be a really nice day, and try to enjoy it because changes are coming swiftly. We're going to see a lot more humidity by Monday. It's going to get so sticky outside, very muggy, and we're going to continue to have all of that moisture in the air as we move throughout this week, increasing our shower and storm chances. So notice today, most of us staying dry. A little bit more cloud cover around, but it's not until tomorrow that we'll pull those showers from the south up to the north, and we'll have an active week ahead with daily storm chances.
Sponsored by Akron Children's Hospital.